Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be an EU GM game sent to me through Discord. Bottom right, it is the Red Zerg player, it is REM. And at the top left, it is BabyMarine. This is a 5800 MMR level game. And again, it is a GM level. Alright, so it's a ZVT here on Lightshade. Hey, hang on a second. Is that the Alpha X clan? I kind of feel like it is. The spinning logo here is that a lurker or a roach? I don't know. So it's going to be a fairly standard ZVT based on the openings. Oh, hang on a second. Pool first here. An 18 pool or a 17 pool from REM? Now it looks like basically a 1 Rax expand here from BabyMarine. Brood War skin hatch here. Overlord checking for proxies and a 17 hatch. After gas. So like 17, 16, 17. Well, if you want to be aggressive with speedlings, this is one way to do it, I guess. I just cast a Brave New World game where the Zerg player went like 17 pool, 18 gas, like 16 hatch. And I was like, huh, that's not a thing, but maybe it is. Anyway. This Reaper's name is DRG. Legend says the Dong wrecked a Terran opponent so hard that he started being able to produce infested Terran units such as this infested Reaper. Oh, need some more Dongray goo in my life, don't I? And everybody does, honestly. More Dongray goo, please. Overlord comes in, sets up on the perching spot. Quick Roach Warren. Okay, so not speedlings at all. Instead, REM, which the SCV scouted. Yeah, saw that pool first play. And did we scout the Roach Warren? Didn't scout the Roach Warren. Okay, so that's interesting. This just looks like a 3 Roach rush. Second gas is not coming up here, so I don't think we're going to go for Ravagers at all, but that's entirely still possible. That's within the realm of reality here. Creep spreading here and walking across. I was going to say, walking a queen across. I don't know about that. A Lightshade, not a super long distance rush map, but not something that you want to walk a queen across for sure. Bunker coming up from BabyMarine. At this point, honestly, yeah, factory smart. Oh, no, it's a second barracks and a third barracks. So we're 3 racks in here. Oh, how interesting. DRG, the Reaper, probably shouldn't die here. Gonna get that creep tumor, though. Oh, if he tossed a KDA charge, he could have killed that tumor. Didn't, unfortunately. That can be the difference between a GM game and a professional game. It's just little stuff like that. I'm gonna try. I don't know if you're about poking in here because obviously you're pretty low on HP. Those combat drugs have not kicked in quite yet. They're kicking in now though, as we see the HP going up pretty quickly in the bottom right. So third base. Trying to figure out the point of this build from REM. Did he get scouted and that's why he didn't go for the roaches? Lair coming up. I mean, this feels like an audible. It really does. You don't go for that fast of a roach horn and make no roaches unless something went wrong and you change your plan on the fly, which can be pretty dangerous. 1 roach is on the way, but doesn't really count for much. No zerglings at all. Just defending against this Reaper entirely with queens, which is totally doable as well. Worker count is 37 to 30. Marines Marauders here. And again, it's just basically a 3 racks, 2 base play here from BabyMarine. It makes me feel like we're going for an attack very soon. Once Stim is done, once Combat Shield is done, I'd be really surprised if that's not what happens here. But third base coming up from REM. Again, it's late. You generally want to get this thing started around 2:30, but you know, at 4:30, it's not done yet. That feels like the macro's in a bit of a tough spot for the Zerg player. But again, this is definitely, yeah, like I thought, this is definitely a big attack coming out here. They don't have any medevac support, but they do have stim. Combat shields are almost done for the Marines. So this is a lot of damage output, but there's no healing available whatsoever. So if REM can hold this, I would say Zerglings are probably more effective against this. Is pretty heavy Marauder composition, but instead Roach is on the way because, again, we've made that fast Roach Warren. We don't have speed for the Lings, so what else are we going to do here? And here comes the attack. There's that stim right on in. He just wants to take down the third base. Look at these Roaches get massacred, though. There are a couple of Ravagers, but dodging Corrosive Bile is not that hard. Again, the big deal here is these guys, every time they stim, that health is never coming back. It's never coming back at all. Corrosive Bile is not hitting anything whatsoever. Trying to kite with the Ravagers, leading them away from the natural base. I'm really surprised they didn't kill the third hatch. I mean, sure, Roaches is good, killing hatcheries is good, but again, eventually you're going to get whittled down to the point where this attack is over. I almost feel like it would have been better to go after the hatchery rather than just get a couple drone kills, a few Roaches, and then that's it. Again, the stims did more damage, I think, to these units than the Roaches did. What an interesting attack here from BabyMarine. Interesting decision-making, too. Not a huge fan of it, honestly. 2,800 resources lost for REM, 1,400 for the Terrans. So, okay. Yeah, 6 Marauders, 11 Marines for 9 drones, 14 Roaches, 3 Queens, 2 Ravagers. It's a lot, but at the same time, wouldn't you want... Okay, so yes, he does eventually want medevacs as he's working on a starport. Third base is done inside of his own main base at 6:30. So this is very strange from the normal macro games that we see on the channel, where BabyMarine is just sending across zero support for these guys. There's no Widow Mines in the mix. It's just Marine, just Marauder. They just have the stim, the combat shield, and the concussive shell. It's the 3 holy upgrades for Marine Marauder. Medevacs are on the way, but they're not going to be involved in this attack at all. Like, you can't sit out here on the creep. A couple of creep tumors go down. I guess maybe you can wait for the medevacs to arrive, but look at this. Now you're still getting chased down a little bit, which, is that what you want to do? I'm not entirely sure, BabyMarine. Doesn't seem like a good thing to do is get chased down, so he does pull back. Medevacs are going to arrive anytime now. Anytime now, we'll get some medevacs. So Roach Ravager, I say all the time, has a shelf life. They are really good for about the first 10 minutes of a ZVT. If your opponent happens to be going bio, they're fine. At around 11 or 12 minutes in a normal macro game where the Terran player is getting 3-3 around that point, if not sooner. Oh, look at this changeling. I'm one of you guys. Then the Roaches and Ravagers get obliterated by 3-3 Marines and Marauders, especially with medevac support, which, by the way, medevacs have arrived for the first time today at 7.5 minutes. REM still not a 4th base, and the Terran's got a 3rd running here. This is definitely unorthodox. Maybe this is standard EU GM stuff. Corrosive Biles, again, not hitting today. BabyMarine is too fast. He recognizes when the Corrosive Biles are coming down. They're coming closer at hitting the Zerg than they are to hitting the bio here. So, yeah, rough stuff. Army supply, however, is 82 to 46. And the upgrades here are +1 armor versus no upgrades at all. Again, outside of the special upgrades these units have. 3rd base completely wrecked here. Just by, I mean, this is not a maxed out Roach Ravager army by any stretch, but you know what? It totally denied the 3rd base. And the armor is really good against Marines. Marines do little tiny attacks over and over again, and armor is applied to every one of those attacks. So having extra armor, the Roaches come with 1 armor anyway. To get another one against those Marines knocks their attacks down from, I want to say, 6 to 4, which is a pretty substantial reduction in their damage. So yeah, Roach in it here. Roach, Ravager. There's a lot. It is a lot right now. Hydralisk Den coming in from REM. Still no 3rd base, recognizing I killed the Terran's 3rd. So he's going to be attacking me soon. He really can't just sit back and let me take a 4th base while he's sitting here on 2. So, gosh, a lot. Wow, I don't know about these engagements, man. Oh, Corrosive Biles actually got a hit there. I think on one of the Marauders, but boy. Wait, did he get this? Did he? No, the siege tank went down there. I was going to say he can get a siege tank with the Corrosive Bile. Didn't see that happen. But Creep Tumor on the high ground is really nice on this map. It's a bit of a priority to get a Creep Tumor up here. Once again, REM chasing, losing my religion. That's the song I think of when I think of REM. I know they have a lot more hits, but Lurker Den coming in here at about 9.5 minutes. More drones on the way, and there's a 4th base coming up down here to the south from REM. BabyMarine never actually lost the orbital, so being able to land that again instead of having to replan it from scratch is a really, really nice thing for the Terran. Creep spread looking pretty fantastic, honestly. All the bases are connected. Yes, we're pushing top side, bottom side, middle getting pushed here as well. Once again, just Marine Marauder. The medevacs are pretty low on energy and also fairly low on HP, surprisingly, considering this is not an army that can shoot up. But yeah, look at this. Look at this upgrade advantage. Okay, I keep saying that. That is not entirely true. We're working on +2 armor and +1 attack. You gotta drop. Fair enough. Gotta drop here. A couple more drones died. I think 3 in total. The drop of the natural base gets repelled pretty quickly. So, alright, I guess we have 1-1. BabyMarine has 1-1. He's working on 2-2. 2 Carapace is faster here for the Zerg player. And again, you can get dropped like this. Oh my gosh, no. Corrosive Biles, get a medevac. Nice. Just anticipation there. And engagement down here to the south as well. BabyMarine, oh, he's got a good number of units. Speed actually exists for these wings. And does force a pickup and a liftoff there as the rest of the army is arriving from REM. This is a very interesting game. Marauder production is still super heavy for BabyMarine. Interesting choice here for somebody whose name is that. But I guess if you're dealing with Roaches and Raptors, it's going to do all right. Yeah, 27 Marauders, 17 Marines. Army supply virtually even, which is not good for the Zerg. He needs to get some good hits off here. Corrosive Biles kind of landing in random spots, maybe hoping the Terran would split into those Corrosive Bile zones. But it's a decent concave here from BabyMarine, however. I was going to say, REM kind of standing in there on his own, but not quite able to do it. REM is retreating for his life. Now BabyMarine is pulling back. Instead, tank. No Corrosive Biles on that tank. Still, BabyMarine at 3 bases here at 11 minutes. Really is starting another command center for his 4th. It feels a little bit late, but hey, this has been a pretty chaotic game. The standard timings maybe don't necessarily apply. Going up the ramp. Roaches, Ravagers. I don't know about this. I was going to say they're not even worrying about the siege tank for some reason. Then they were. Another siege tank down. Corrosive Bile. Again, more of a threat if you're trying to pursue somebody than anything else. The Lurkers are out, though. They're going to do pretty well against Marauders, assuming they're not horribly outnumbered. Like, for example, here maybe, and, you know, already severely injured. Resources lost are about even, which is not good for the Terran. The Terran does not want to have even resources lost here versus a Zerg player by any stretch. We're going for Seismic Spines, the upgrade that increases the range of the Lurker Talons. I'm going to assume we probably have the Adaptive Talons upgrade queued up here for faster burrow. It seems to be the second priority for Zerg players these days. Anywho, factory on the way here from BabyMarine. He wants additional tanks, which is cool. Viper production getting started. And the medevacs just kind of free flying in. There's a single infestor too. That's fun. I don't know what these Vipers are supposed to do with this. Honestly, the Vipers need to get out of here. Yeah, the Ling's backing out of here as well. Viper gets obliterated from the sky. And then when the army shows up, you just pick up and get the heck out of there. A free Viper is not bad. And see, this is what I'm talking about with Lurkers. They're good, but unsupported by anything. They die pretty quickly, especially to Marauders. With the +2 attack upgrade. These guys just kind of bouncing back and forth between the bases. This is what happens when you don't have a Spire. God, it's another dead Viper, too. All right, heal these guys up a little bit and send them in, but that gave enough time for the Lings and Hydras to show up, so let's just get out of here. That medevac taking some hits. It helps if you have Hydras, at least. This is not just Roach Ravager, so we're definitely moving in. No Banelings at all, though, out of REM, which I find a little bit interesting. I mean, it's a lot of Marauders, so yeah, I guess it makes sense. Oh, poor Marauder gets left behind. Speak of the devil. 4th base from BabyMarine has landed. Tanks on this high ground are so good against units that are trying to attack, especially Zergs from the low ground. REM taking a 5th base, bam. Up the right side. BabyMarine pushing in the front door again. And the Hydras don't trade super well here, but, you know, in lower numbers where it's equal, it's good. In higher number where it's equal, it's bad. It is extremely bad. But yeah, so far, so good. This is, I mean, scrappy. Scrappy little GM game here for sure. Resources lost, 19,000 for REM, 16,000 for BabyMarine, 17 now. I like the Ling Hydra against this composition. Against Marauders, it's really good. Siege tanks, you know, if there are huge numbers of siege tanks, they will obliterate these Hydras. But if it's just a couple mixed in with a ton of Marauders, the Hydras are going to do just fine. So oh, a lot of idle SCVs there. You got to transfer them down, I guess. Where? He doesn't really have a base of where to send them. Is he going to bring them along? No. He's just going to oversaturate his third base immensely, I guess. Fair enough, I suppose. Oh, sure. That makes sense. Set up here long distance mine a little bit. There is an orbital command coming into this 11 o'clock position for Leteron. And getting a Ghost Academy, too. Again, Ghosts, pretty good against Lurkers. Lurkers do outrange them with that upgrade, the Seismic Spines. So if you try to focus on them and they can see you, then they will hit you with Spines and interrupt that cast. Because Snipe is a targeted channeled cast. So you don't just instantly throw it down. You have to hold attention for like 1.8 seconds, which doesn't seem that long. But in a game of StarCraft 2, it is much, much longer. I can promise you that. Ghosts in production here at 16 minutes. This has been a pretty darn action-packed ZVT. Both players taking a bit of a breather here. We might actually see somebody max out. But then again, maybe not. Trying to set up on this high ground. It's a good spot for the Terran. REM has realized that. You just come down the ramp. Oh, nice little drop up this way, though. Ooh, Medevac taking some spore hits. Ah, they got the hatch. That's the first hatch killed today. Nice little double-pronged attack, and they're going to get REM's attempt at a 6 without even getting that canceled. Brutal. Absolutely brutal stuff. Nice abduct on those Medevacs, though, making sure they die, and there's no quick evacuation for these units, and so they get massacred. This group overextends a little bit. Oh, these Medevacs. There's no anti... Oh, there are 2 Hydralisks here. The Medevacs get out with their lives somehow, some way. I don't know what this was. Something showed up and tried to kill stuff. Once again, 2 Lurkers unsupported die pretty quickly. They will take a bunch of bio with them for sure, but they will die quickly nevertheless. EMPs on the Vipers, beautifully done. Absolutely fantastically done. But yeah, Ling Floods. This is what I'm talking about. When your opponent's going for a lot of Marauders and not that many tanks, Ling Floods are going to do incredibly here. And yeah, tanks are getting wiped out one by one by one. Resources lost is a lot closer than BabyMarine wants it to be, despite killing this hatchery. REM is bringing it back, baby. Hydra's trying to stand in here. Steady targeting again. Not great when there's Lurkers in the general neighborhood. Nice snipe on that tank, though. Keeping the tank count to approximately 0 has been amazing today for REM. 11 tanks have been killed. It's 26 to 28,000 resources lost. The Terran has lost just barely fewer. It's fairly negligible here. I do like the base count that he's working on, though. That is great. Cloak for Ghost coming in. Ah, see? But if you can do that. You can be outside of their vision range. You can snipe them. It's just that's hard to do. This top right base is in a lot of trouble. These Medevacs coming on down. There are a couple Hydras here, but I'm not sure it's enough to save it. Here's the unload. The Hydra's not responding. There's a single Lurker on the premises. I'm not sure that one Lurker is going to be enough, and it's not. The Lurker dies. The Hydras have to evacuate. I really feel like they do. The Marauders are not helping here, but it doesn't matter. We're talking about 2-2 Marines. They should have 3-3 by now. They're working on it, though. They're doing their best. And this hatch is going to go down. Again, defense not quite ample. Yeah, once you've killed the hatch, just pick up and get out of there. No reason to kill Broodlings, man. Oh, poor Marauder. Exploding on his face. Lurkers! Surprise, unsupported Burrow Lurkers. BabyMarine taking this bottom left-hand base here, too. This is looking good for the Terran. I gotta say, this is some really impressive stuff out of both players, but the Terran's lost a lot, but he just has more income at the moment. I know that REM has more workers. Okay, killing this base helps change that equation pretty heavily. Liberator sets up, but I mean, the lurkers, though, they're not in your range. Yep, Zergling's in the mix here. Lurkers, blinding cloud, trying to keep them alive, but no, it's not enough. It's not enough at all. 13 more hydras in production, making some lings, making a single lurker here. REM. Random rapid eye movement. That's REM sleep, when your brain is actually sleeping and you're actually repairing your body and your brain and stuff. That's REM sleep. Your eyes are moving fast. Great EMPs, nice blinding clouds. The spell casting on both sides has been pretty good here. Siege tank down, and REM kind of overwhelming a little bit here. The Ghost doing what they can, but suddenly it's 177 to 139 supply, and REM is going for the jugular. I don't know if it's going to work, but he wants it anyway. Definitely going to take down that orbital. Yes, Hydra DPS against buildings is not even funny for anybody involved, really. So REM taking that top right base again. This has been pretty intense. In all realities here, it's been a pretty intense back and forth right now. More lurkers on the way. BabyMarine again was down a lot in supply, but is back up to about 150. Zergling's coming up. Oh, this 11 o'clock base is not a planetary. That's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot for these lings, which do have +3 attack. They don't have adrenal glands, though, because REM's neglecting that upgrade today. It's on the way now. Just kidding. It's been neglected for 20 minutes, which isn't super great, but again, the focus was on roaches and ravagers and hydras. So having the upgrades for those guys was definitely a priority, but having adrenal glands now would be so good. So good. BabyMarine back up to 175 supply. Just like that. Snap at the fingers. Back up. Didn't end up losing that 11 o'clock base. Liberator tries to get a ton of kills. Doesn't really. I mean, you can't really fungal it down, but man, you set up right in range of a spore. All right, cool. So 11 o'clock base getting demolished. Flamolished is not a word, but losing this orbital would hurt. And I think we're going to. The Vipers are like, can we abduct it and bring it back? The answer is no. That'd be amazing if you could abduct buildings that were flying, though. So how about a trade for you guys as an attack comes in? Lurkers burrowing in. Hydras on top of everything here, too. Nice fungals. Oh, the Ghosts can't get off their snipes if they're fungled either. That interrupts their casting, and bam. REM is your winner. It is Railgun. Surprise Zerg today. Getting the win in a fairly unorthodox manner here with a lot of Hydras, Vipers, Lurkers, and Festers. No Banelings at all. Not a Baneling made today. Only, how many Zerglings? Only about 300 Zerglings. Which in a standard ZVT is not that many. But yeah, it kind of feels like a lot here today. Yeah, beautiful fungals. This base goes down. BabyMarine a little premature on the GG, but he recognizes his army value is not super hot. Everybody is alive here technically, but another fungal lurker combination is going to ruin him. And then the army's here, and then your production's screwed, and then you're done. So again, a little bit early, but resources lost are 40,000 to 40,000, which is bad. Like, that's rough. That is rough for a Terran to look down and see what those numbers are. 15 medevacs died, which is massive. Only 2 medevacs left at the end of the game. Great attention there from Railgun. Again, I'll put a link to his Twitch channel and his YouTube channel here in the description. He's a great, kind of unorthodox Zerg player. So, if you want to see some weird stuff out of Zergs against Terrans, he's your guy. Yeah, check him out. Please do. Tell him that Falcon sent you. But all right. What a fantastically weird and fun ZVT. I don't think it's a weird, fun title because, I don't know, we didn't get nukes or, like, Mass Broodlord or anything. It was still standard enough. It doesn't get the weird, fun title. But, I mean, anytime you kill 3 hatcheries of a Zerg player, you got to feel pretty good about it. But losing an orbital command and another one, and again, those 15 medevacs is what really stands out to me is going to be a problem here. 18 tanks, too. Just too many tanks going down. So beautiful, beautiful job by Railgun, and that's going to be it for me today. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.